Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. 1 week from today, we will be entering Team of the Year inside of FC25. I know, I feel the same way. I wish it were here already, but we have an interesting NumeroFUT Team 2 Friday ahead of us today because this promo did surprise us last Friday. Remember, with the Evo and the SBC for Pedro Neto that we had. We do have a leaked SBC and a team of leaked players that we have to look at today that could maybe make some things more interesting, as well as some evolution leaks to talk about as well. So we're going to talk about that and how the market's going to be moving, because once again, I want to remind you guys, all of these NumeroFUT cards from Team 1 with the mini releases are staying in packs as well. So we're just getting another team of NumeroFUT added to packs while these cards stay in. That means those prices are going to drop, and it means there's more special cards in packs. We're going to talk about it, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's cover yesterday's content on Thursday first. Thursdays are usually pretty quiet days, and that is exactly how yesterday was. Now, we did have a refresh of a lot of the SP normally refreshing objectives. We had the season play objective that was dropped yesterday too for 4,500 SP, along with the refreshing weekly objectives. And then don't forget, of course, the seasonal objectives inside of here. Once again, for Ultimate Team, if you're playing career mode or clubs, those objectives reset as well. Once again, pro tip, if you're trying to save player picks for Team of the Year like I am, don't claim any of these levels. I'm sitting here not claiming any of these player picks for 85 plus picks, because those will all be saved and opened by me next week, or maybe even a week and a half from now when we actually get into Team of the Year. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. But of course, we're going to be progressing through the season a lot faster because that SP was refreshed yesterday. Also today on Friday is the season play, or the weekly play, season 4 weekly play. This is the pack. Remember last week when everybody was getting the glitched Holland? This is the pack that came out of. Now, I've already opened my NumeroFUT guarantee for week 2. This today refreshing becomes week 3, so we can do this weekly objective one more time to get a week 3 NumeroFUT player guaranteed. I doubt this pack gets glitched too, but hey, some people might be saving it just in case that same situation happens again today on Friday. Now, yesterday, our only other content besides SP in objectives was marquee matchups. Pretty simple SBC here. If you want some packs, go ahead and get it done. I've been skipping marquee matchups for a while now, I'll be honest. Now, I guess really the other content that came out or re-released was the 87 plus Baser Centurions icon upgrade. That refreshed one more time, and like we mentioned in yesterday's video, fodder was a good buy because these cards are going up. After the SBC refreshed, 88 rated cards went from about 9K. They didn't really go down as much as I would have hoped, but they did go down a little. They went down to 9,000 coins flat, and they are now 11,000 coins. Fodder is up. I would imagine that it goes up until content today when the new cards get added to packs. Probably people start opening Weekend League rewards as Weekend League opens up, and some store packs as EA put those out, and fodder drops a little bit. Could depend on the player SBC that we have today too, but that was a nice little movement on fodder. Now, this is a very interesting part of the market that we're going to have to watch this weekend as well for investments going into next week. But honestly, especially on low tier fodder like 84s, 85s, 86s, I think I would probably look at taking the cash if you had some of that and then looking to rebuy during the weekend this weekend. Of course, yesterday as well, we had the last refresh of the 82 times 14, and that made Team of the Weeks, guess what, go up again. I sold multiple Team of the Weeks for like 17,500 coins yesterday. It was a very good day to be selling those Team of the Weeks, and once again, they are still sitting at 16,000 coins insta sell. But with the 8214 going away today, that makes us think that Team of the Weeks will probably drop down this weekend. With the new Team of the Week that is out, of course, Weekend League rewards, people aren't saving most of the time at least. Team of the Week packs from their rewards, they're just opening them, taking the free coins and selling the cards, and this is the SBC that's been making those cards go up. So hopefully, if you're an investor, Team of the Weeks will go down this weekend with the supply, and then we can get invested again. I don't know if they're going to go to 12K though. We'll just have to see how low they drop this weekend, but that'll be a very important part of the market that we're going to watch over the next couple days is SBC fodder. We had nothing in Evos yesterday, really nothing else inside of this game. It's a Thursday. It was a slow day. Now, let's look toward today, guys, because there's a lot that is coming today, especially with early content. We were mentioning a player of the month, Mohamed Salah, right? Well, we've actually just learned that we are not getting another player of the month, Salah. Guys, in just a few short hours, this Salah goes away, and replacing him as the December player of the month winner in shocking, surprising fashion is going to be this exact Alexander Isak card. These are the official stats and playstyle plus for Isak, who has won the player of the month. Crazy, as a lot of people thought Salah with 14 goal contributions in 1 month would for sure lock up the award. But of course, the Premier League awarded this to Isak instead. This is a leak, of course. You'll probably see a picture of Isak holding the trophy, and it'll be his image on the card of the Player of the Month SBC that drops today with this exact card. Trivela Plus, again, over the whole reward situation, just to touch on that again, it's crazy how Salah didn't win. Some people will say rigged. He deserved it. Isak had a great month as well. And, I mean, technically this is a vote that happens on EA's website, and a lot of people expected Salah to win for the month that he had, but Isak had a great month too, and it's not just down to EA to give out this award. This is a Premier League award. The vote is just held on EA's site for the fan vote portion of the award. It's actually given out by the Premier League managers. I think there's a board or some sort of committee that decides this mostly, and the fan vote that we see here on the website is such a small percent of it. But this is, again, a big surprise. Now, this card doesn't look that crazy. If you compare it to his Thunderstruck card that we have for Isak, it is not as good, right? It's 1 rating lower. Of course, this is a live card that got upgraded. This one has Finesse Plus. This one's going to have Trivela. Hopefully, this is just a cheap SBC that's fun to do because it's cheap. Maybe, with the 5-star weak foot, maybe he's somewhere around 150,000 coins. That could make this card drop a little bit. Also could make this card have a couple of spikes up in price as people see the new one. They're like, the Finesse Plus one is better. It is a bit of a letdown, though, if you were waiting to do Mohamed Salah Player of the Month just because you wanted a better version of his card and you really thought that he was going to get one. I totally understand the frustration with that. But this SBC should be dropping in just a couple of hours, as it drops early in the day before the actual 6 p.m. content drops. So we'll be watching out for a Player of the Month Isak today. Now, that was going to be big news because we thought it was going to be Salah, but instead, it is not. Isak's still good SBC though. Anyways, we'll get off that. Let's talk about NumeroFUT Team number 2, guys, because that is the real big news of what is happening today. We have a full league team of official stats of a Team 2 for NumeroFUT, and some of the players look pretty good. Some of the boosts look pretty good, but we have a really interesting SBC that we really have to get into as well. This is Team 2 of NumeroFUT, guys, including Antoine Griezmann with Finesse Plus. These are official stats once again. Militao, 91 rated left back card, assuming he would also have the center back position. You see Griezmann's right mid, assuming he would also have cam or striker position on his card as well. Cuadrado is right mid. Balde left back. This is a huge boost for Balde and Cuadrado. Cuadrado was just added to the game, kind of like James Rodriguez. He just got a card added in with this latest update that EA did. He's getting his first promo. Balde is getting his first promo of the year. He's going up to 82 physical, by the way, which is always the stat on this card that has kind of left him lacking. He's got 47 aggression and 63 strength, so hopefully gets into the 80s with both of those stats. That's going to be a very, very hyped card today. I'm really wondering how expensive he's going to be. I feel like with Balde's card, I pack him all the time. So I think kind of how we saw with Lamine Yamal earlier on this year, his card gets packed a lot too. His promo card during the Ultimate Succession promo was packed a lot as well. So maybe the same thing's going to happen with Balde. That's a big card there, though, with an Anticipate Plus and 96 pace. And then we have some goalkeepers here. We have 5 goalkeepers, guys, including Allison and Pickford. I think right now one of the smartest plays that you can do is if you have a tradable goalkeeper, specifically from the Prem, I'm thinking about like a Tim Howard or maybe Tim Howard Prime Hero, Tim Howard Base Hero. I think that some goalkeepers may take a hit in price just because whenever EA release more goalkeepers out in this game, usually you do see some drops in price because people like to try new keepers, right? And these are upgrades, 90 rated, 91 rated for Allison. The thing is, does EA upgrade reactions? That's always the thing that we look at, and usually with keepers, they do not upgrade reactions in game. So Allison has 87 reactions. That means his card still could be very good with boosted stats. It looks like he has the same playstyle plus with Deflector Plus, but we'll see if they give him any other playstyles on his card with the stat boost that he gets. So that's really interesting. They're adding in some keepers with this team. We haven't had special keepers in a while. I think that Pickford and Allison both, and Trap, to be fair, will have a decent amount of hype, but they hopefully aren't that expensive after they get supplied a bit on the market. The rest of the team looks Interesting, Itakura. Anton actually looks really good as well. If this Anton card can play center back, maybe this Gabriel Strafeza as well as a Serie A Brazilian right mid could be a very nice card too. So those are all of the leaked cards that are coming today. Once again, though, you may be like, Nate, I saw a couple other leaks like for a Kyle Walker and for a Jan Koto and for a Gabriel Martinelli and a Dumfries. There are more cards that are leaked. It seems like a mini release, or maybe some of these cards are coming out today. Number 11, Martinelli. Number 2, Dumfries. Number 2, Kyle Walker. It seems like there's going to be some sort of mini release. Jan Koto as well, number 2. They've kind of been releasing them in numbers, right? And we haven't had number 2 or 11 yet. So really interested to see if 11 is a part of this mini release as a full team, or if it's going to be in a mini release separately with the right backs and the left wings. It looks like we will have to see. But that's kind of crazy to think about, actually, when we're having more cards dropping in packs today with this team number 2. But that means that those cards that are in the quote-unquote mini release that would potentially drop on Saturday or Sunday, those cards would only be in packs for a very short time, a very few number of days, right? Goretzka was just released on Wednesday 2 days ago, and he's even going to be more rare than a lot of other cards because he's only been in packs a couple of days. So that's really interesting to kind of think about with some of the cards coming out today and how long they're going to be in packs. But again, I do want to reiterate, guys, these cards, every single one of these NumeroFUT cards, including Team 1 and the new cards coming today, are going to stay in packs. So somebody like James Rodriguez, who a lot of people want to try, he's going to get supplied even more. His price is actually going up. I bought one yesterday for 155,000 coins. He's right now about 175K as I'm searching up on the market. He has 175,000 coins. This is a card that's probably going to drop more today because he's going to get packed more. Now, again, you have a lot of demand for Weekend League. This is going to be a really interesting fluctuation with prices on the market. How are these NumeroFUT cards going to move? Because sure, people want to try them, and a lot of people probably assume that they're going out of packs today because that's normally how it works, but that is not how it's working this week. These cards are going to stay in packs until I believe it's Tuesday, 4 more days. These cards will be out and they'll be packable, every single one of them, including Kamavinga, including the new mini release with the Goretzka from Wednesday and Billy Gilmore. All of those cards will be in packs, including the new one. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention. I would 100% expect to see these cards drop off in price. You see me, I have like almost all of my coins liquid. I sold the James that I had bought actually too early after trying him in game. I only sold him for 167. I sold Lewis Dunk for 117. He was 100K yesterday. They did move a lot. I actually bought 2 Kamavingas for 800, sold them for 870 and 880. They were really good to flip, and I think we have to remember that today, but they're going to be in packs, and that means their prices are probably going to drop into content today. They might not drop until we get close to content, but after content, with being in packs and packs being opened, and especially once rewards get opened on Saturday and on Sunday, I do believe you'll see these card prices continue to drop. So just be very careful with that, because that is a abnormal situation that we have happening on this game today with the NumeroFUT Team 1 cards staying in packs. Now let's get to the content that really could surprise us. Remember last week, again, we had the Pedro Neto SBC and the really good evolution that really just kind of shocked us. We're like, wow, this NumeroFUT promo actually dropped some good content. Well, we have another leaked SBC that looks like it could fit the bill that Pedro Neto did last week. It's all going to come down to the price, though. Here's the SBC. John Stones. He had a Winter Wildcards last year. I remember doing that SBC, and I wasn't super excited about the card after I did it and used him in game. However, this year's John Stones, this looks pretty cracked. Duo pick SBC between 2 center back versions of John Stones, 89 rated, one with 89 pace, the other one with 89 defending and dribbling with Anticipate Plus. Now, when I look at these 2 versions, I just need to see more. Do we keep the alternate positions that his gold card has, which is also right back and center defensive mid? Do we keep, you know, like the same playstyles on both cards? Is just a stat change? I'm guessing some of the playstyles are going to change. That's how most of these player pick SBCs have been with Guendouzi, with Wissa, and with Pedro Neto. Maybe one of these John Stones is more acclimated as a CDM. Maybe the one with higher passing and a little bit lower dribbling. I'm not entirely sure. And lower defending but higher physical with Bruiser. Maybe that one has better passing playstyles and more pace. Maybe this one's more of a defender with more of the defending playstyles since he has Anticipate Plus. When I look at these two, I think the Anticipate one would be better, whether you were going to play him at center defensive mid or center back. But I still have a lot of questions. And my biggest question, once again, would be how much is this going to cost? Because honestly, that looks like a card that if it's dropped today and if it's a decent price like Pedro Neto was really cheap. If this is a couple 100K, like 200,000 coins worth of value, this is going to be a card that probably makes some center backs drop on the market, especially some Premier League center backs. So personally, I would be looking to be careful with those today because I think when you look at a card like that John Stones and you see 89 pace and the ability to play at center back, that is not something that a lot of center backs have right now in this game. That's going to be very hype. A guy like this Vincent Kompany could be dropping today, kind of like how we saw midfielders drop a good bit with the Evo. I don't think it would be as drastic, but if this SBC is cheap, this has potential to do some damage on the center back prices, maybe CDMs as well, maybe even right back if you wanted to use him there too. Again, if he has those alternate positions, which hopefully he would because the other SBCs that have been dropped have had other alternate positions either added or the same ones that their base gold card has as well. So that's really the emphasis when it comes to SBCs today. There was also another leak for some other Numero SBCs. Of course, Isak is coming today, the John Stones we would expect, and then a USA flag and a French flag. Now, the only thing I can think about is I believe last Friday when we had the Pedro Neto SBC released, at the same time we had the Icon Lotta Schellen SBC for her base card release too. Could EA be dropping an Icon SBC alongside of John Stones today? That's something I guess we could consider. We'll have to see if it happens or not, but that is kind of what they did last week. So I did want to mention that based off of that leak tweet there. So that's the SBC news that really looks like it could change a lot of the landscape on this game. Would you want to invest in any of the SBCs or links to the SBCs today? Usually, guys, for Premier League cards, you don't have to go ahead and invest. You know, like City links to Holland or Holland linking to John Stones. Most people would already be able to link the John Stones card if they were to do the SBC today and put it straight into a team. It's a Manchester City Premier League card. He's English. Not going to be that difficult to link. I don't think there's a big opportunity to invest there. Really, I think the biggest impact would be on the market for the players that he would be replacing. Like center back Holland would be a card I would probably be trying to sell. He's up a little bit right now just because of that John Stones coming. People might sell this card to go do the SBC. Maybe then he comes back up as people want to link John Stones to Holland. I think you could have some of that. But when we talk about the market, which we are in just a second, I think there's a crucial time that we have to sell cards today. So I wouldn't invest for the Stones, or I wouldn't really invest for the Isak either. Again, I think Isak could hurt Premier League strikers. That's one thing. If you have a striker for a Premier League player, I don't know, just searching up Tevez right now is the first name that comes to mind. But any tradable Premier League striker that's at least under 200,000 coins could take a bit of a hit today because of that card. I mean, that's kind of the cheaper range for strikers in the Prem for a squad building, you know, for a squad right there. But just something to think about that could be affected on the market today if Isak is seen as good value. Last thing, evolutions, right? Fridays usually bring good evos, and this evo that was teased on yesterday and now again today by FUT Agent, he's saying that 87 rated Marquisio and Hamsik are fitting an evolution soon. He says this evolution will give a rating upgrade, and then he quote tweeted this guy who has a crazy 87 rated striker, CDM, and center midfielder evo card with insane stats, and he says that yes, he will fit that evolution. That's crazy. That's a really crazy card to be fitting an evolution. We've been waiting for EA to finally allow us to put 87 rated cards into Evos. It's been 85 and 86 rated requirements in evolutions for ages. And the fact that 87s are potentially going to be fitting one, that seems like it could be a big evolution coming today, guys. We will have to see if it's paid, if it's a good boost, if it's just kind of like the first one that gets us up to that new upper level. Is this going to be the next evolution to actually give out players that become 90 rated, like Attacking Avalanche, of course, brought out the 91 rated cards. I just finished my Attacking Avalanche before it expired. I got the Pulisic Evo done. It's incredible. how good is this one going to be? We have a lot of questions, but this is actually a good sign of what's to come, hopefully during Team of the Year 2. More evos that allow us to put in higher rated cards. We're not even to Team of the Year yet, but this looks like it could be a good sign moving in that direction. So watch out for that evolution coming today as well. So that evo plus the SBC for Stones is probably the biggest two things today for sure. But let's talk market, right? I'm pretty liquid. I've sold most of my cards. The market is doing really well. Prices are up in a lot of different places as we've looked at. The impacts cards that are going to continue to stay impacts. Want to be careful with those. Other players have rebounded like Conte and some of the midfielders like Rolfa and Matuidi, even the hero card, and Yaya Toure, some of those prices that dropped because of the number 8 Evo a couple days ago. Other cards, you know, like this Delict, he didn't go up that much. I bought these for 133, 134. I really didn't make much here. I was hoping he'd go to like 150 plus, and he really didn't. Maybe because of the John Stones, but that's not a card that I want to risk it with today before the Stones comes out. I am mostly liquid as it comes to the cards right now. For me, I still have a couple of Neres that I have lazy listed for like 37K. Probably going to sell those here pretty soon. I think, guys, the thing that we can really look at today on the market is trading with the start of Weekend League. Last week, I remember I had bought Rolfo's center mid card, right? She was rising. I bought her last week at 320,000 coins. And then on Friday, she kind of spiked, right? If we go back to here, we bought her last week right here. She went all the way up. She was 420K, 430K actually for a little bit of time. And then, you know, the footbin prices went down, but also the market kind of peaked there. She peaked price. I ended up selling her like somewhere in between at 380,000 coins. But what we saw last week, 1, 2, 3 hours after content was when the market was its highest. And I think that is the point this week where we need to sell. Yes, I'm talking about selling cards, low budget, mid budget, and higher tier budget. If you haven't sold, or if you bought something during the last day or two, as we've had a nice market bounce back, to go ahead and use during Weekend League or use during your rivals games this week, I think the optimal time to sell. Look at Vinny. Vinny was 380 on Monday and Tuesday. Now he's 450,000 coins. This card's going to be 380 or 400,000 coins at least again pretty soon, early next week, as Team of the Year is on our front of our minds again, as it's the next promo incoming. We start to have leaks and news and info. I think the peak of the market will be today on Friday during the Weekend League time frame. That'll be the best time to sell basically everything except for fodder. That's when we'll be looking to invest in fodder to see how much it drops down today. But that is what I really wanted to point out today, guys, is I expect the market to stay decently high on these prices that have rebounded really well, like Graham Hansen. She was 480. I believe, on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, she was 470 on Tuesday during that panic, right? We had that big drop off. She rebounded pretty nice, as we kind of mentioned was going to happen after Rivals Rewards, even during the second half of the week. And now it's time to start selling those cards again as prices are going to come back down. And then we'll have another opportunity to look to buy players like that in the build up to Team of the Year next week. So that's why I've got a lot of my coins liquid at the moment. I wouldn't tell you to not trade, however, on the market today. I think there will be great opportunities to find cards at low prices like we saw last week. Focus on those rare players. If you want to make quick flips, focus on even these NumeroFUT cards. I know that it's going to be scary today, as they're going to continue to get supplied and they're going to be packed because they're still in packs. But at the same time, if there's a whole lot of panic selling, there's not a lot of people opening packs today, right? If there's a whole lot of panic selling and some of these cards from NumeroFUT Team number 1, Tank, even before content, there could be some bounces even after content on these. So I would definitely watch out for that. Just be careful with center backs because of Stones, maybe center defensive mids again too, and then maybe even budget strikers for Isak. But I think the market could be very profitable today if you quick flip and time things well. But I do want to make sure I mention that for you guys, that I think the market today, tonight specifically, will be a great time to sell as we get in towards Team of the Year, and then we'll be looking to buy later on. So that's really the promo Friday in a nutshell. We are 1 week closer to Team of the Year, with NumeroFUT only being 4 more days, guys. Again, if you want to double check me, like, Nate, are you sure these cards go out of packs? It's right here. It doesn't show. It's behind the face cam. I'll move the face cam up for you. 4 days, 12 hours from right now. So 4 days. These cards will go out of packs. The new ones that come in today will go out of packs at the same time. It'll be Team of the Year warm-up series then, and it'll be all about the SBCs that we can stack and save up, objectives that we can stack and save up packs for the big Team of the Year promo. coming 1 week from today. Good luck if you're playing Weekend League today. Good luck with your pack save. My stash is growing. I'm going to open some 77 plus picks today to have one last shot and maybe packing a NumeroFUT card. And just because I want to make sure that I can continue to get some lower rated fodder in my club, our pack stash is coming along nicely, but we need some more. We need some more. The next Weekend League rewards are going to come into this and some more SBCs that EA dropped too. But maybe EA will get us to get excited about a player today with NumeroFUT, and maybe that'll take up a little bit of my fodder. Maybe a guy like Varane or Konate is in danger of being replaced today for my squad. We'll have to see what the Stones SBC is all about. But that's the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it, comment below if you have any questions, and of course subscribe if you are new. Check us out. We'll be live streaming on Twitch today. The link is down below in the description. And of course, if you haven't seen the second channel upload from yesterday, it was kind of a crazy one. We did an SBC that we most often don't do, and I almost failed to qualify for Weekend League. It was kind of a fun epi yesterday. That's in the second channel. I'll link that above here. I will see you guys at stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. See you there. Peace out.